Former EastEnders star Cheryl Fergison opens up about her secret battle with womb cancer, revealing how she coped with the terrifying diagnosis and the incredible support she received from her co-stars, including the late Dame Barbara Windsor. Cheryl Fergison, a former EastEnder, discloses that she suffered from womb cancer. Cheryl Fergison, a former EastEnder, disclosed that she received treatment for womb cancer. She stated in 2015 that she received a diagnosis. She is well recognized for her role as Heather Trott on EastEnders from 2007 to 2012. Trott said she was in absolute shock when she learned the prognosis in an interview with OK! Magazine, External. There were gloomy times, particularly at night, when I wondered, am I going to die? Am I going to abandon my son without a mother, my husband without a wife, she thought back. After that, Fergison had to undergo a hysterectomy and experienced an early menopause before receiving the all-clear. The actress clarified that at the time, she had only disclosed her disease to a select group of close friends, which included late comedian Paul O'Grady, June Brown, Steve McFadden, Linda Henry, and former co-workers on EastEnders, Dame Barbara Windsor, and June Brown. She added the late Dame Barbara volunteered to help her out financially and that their support meant the world to her. Barb asked, "All right, sweetheart, how much?" "We would like to help you, so tell us how much your bills and mortgage are," Fergison recollected. "I was shocked and said no, but Barb insisted that I wasn't making any money. They sat and signed a check. Barbara gave me a hug and comforted me as I started to cry. We will always be available to you." Fergison told OK! that she went to her doctor after experiencing back pain and seeing blood. After that, she was sent for more testing and a biopsy. After receiving a stage 2 cancer diagnosis, the actress had radiotherapy and a complete hysterectomy. Fergison married Yassine Al-Germoni in 2011. She had a son named Alex from a previous marriage. Any notion that,
yes,
and I would become parents together had been eliminated, she declared. Although we didn't follow that path, we were no longer in a position to make a decision. She clarified that having a hysterectomy affected her psychologically in addition to physically. It also caused an early menopause. It seemed as though my identity as a woman had reached its zenith. Fergison continued, saying that although testing revealed her initial treatment had got all the cancer, she had been concerned that a fresh attack of back pain was an indication that her cancer had returned. She exhorted women to get medical attention when needed. Take note of your body. Get checked out, even if it's just the slightest concern. After all, without health, there can be no money. Signs of uterine cancer. Unexpected vaginal bleeding, the most prevalent sign of womb cancer, might include bleeding following menopause, bleeding in between climaxes, bleeding following a sexual encounter, prolonged, erratic spells of heavy, recurring heavy periods that don't go away after treatment, vaginal discharge that is bloody or watery. But not every irregular bleeding is indicative of womb cancer, so it's essential to discuss your concerns with your general practitioner. In the UK, womb cancer is the most frequent gynecological cancer, diagnosed in about 9,000 women annually, surpassing ovarian and cervical cancer in incidence. The majority of womb cancers strike women in their 50s who have gone through the menopause, while they can, in rare cases, also strike younger women. If detected early, uterine cancer is typically curable. Actress Cheryl Fergison of EastEnders shares her scary 9-year-old secret about having uterine cancer, saying, "Thought I'd die." Actress Cheryl Fergison of EastEnders has talked about being diagnosed with womb cancer and explained why she chose to keep it a secret for nearly 10 years, believing she was going to die. After 5 years of playing Heather Trott, a fan of George Michael on the BBC serial opera, Fergison was killed off by hitting Ben Mitchell in the back of the head. Fergison was diagnosed with stage 2 uterine cancer in 2015, not long after her departure in 2012. She called that moment in her life a horrendous time. She revealed the information to OK! Magazine. After 9 years of keeping it a secret, there were some terrible moments, especially at night, when I thought, am I going to die? Will I abandon my son without a mother and my husband without a wife? But now is the appropriate moment to discuss everything. I want to use my story to hopefully inspire other women. Despite everything I've been through, I'm still here. You become stronger by what does not destroy you. After going to her scheduled smear test visit, the 58-year-old was diagnosed, and the initial results were clear. But soon after, she started having back discomfort and blood spots, which she knew wasn't usual for her. She called her general practitioner right away and was promptly referred to a nearby hospital for some testing and a biopsy. She was informed of her cancer diagnosis after 4 months of waiting for her test results, and she stated that she felt as like she was having an out-of-body experience upon hearing the news. I was completely taken aback and surprised. I was amazed that the physician was discussing me with me. The weeks that followed were spent getting x-rays. Fergison was devastated to hear that she would need a complete hysterectomy because she had always questioned if she would want children in the future. Currently, Fergison resides with her 12-year spouse, Yassine, and their 24-year-old son, Alex, who was born during her initial marriage to Jamshed Sadiki. Before receiving her diagnosis, the couple had not been married for long, and she remembered feeling unhappy that any thought of having children together had been taken away. The soap opera diva only told a select group of her business friends, including Steve McFadden, June Brown, and Dame Barbara Windsor, about the development at the time. Before receiving the all-clear last year, she confided in showbiz heavyweights Paul O'Grady and Julian Clary as well. Sharing her diagnosis coincides with her earlier this month admission that she was taken to the hospital in complete agony after being left there. She sent a long statement via the Mirror, describing her ordeal as eye-opening, and said she was home and on the road to recovery at this point. She stated that she had been in and out of hospital for the previous 9 years because of several serious health conditions, and she continued, saying, "I was treated for an infection with 4 drips of antibiotics every 6 hours and was in excruciating pain at times. I'm happy to report that the infection is getting better, and I'm back home and starting the healing process. My family has supported me over the entire process. Exploring A&E for a full day was more than enlightening. It hurt to witness the extreme mistreatment and chaotic working conditions that our healthcare professionals face. It was rather painful to witness some of the folks there show no gratitude at all during my stay there." Cheryl Fergison of EastEnders shares how her co-stars helped her following her covert cancer diagnosis. Some of her bills were settled by the late Dame Barbara Windsor. The EastEnders Cheryl Fergison has spoken out about the amazing support system she had when battling a covert cancer diagnosis. The actor, who is most known for portraying Heather Trott on EastEnders, had a womb cancer diagnosis in 2015, but she hasn't disclosed the information to the public until recently. Fergison received the all-clear last year, and she is now prepared to share her experience. Although the results of her routine screening test were clear, she returned to the doctor when she started experiencing blood spots and back pain. Following examinations and a sample, stage 2 womb cancer was determined to be her condition. In her lowest points, Fergison admitted, she thought she was going to die, but she was astonished by the support she got, especially from her late, compassionate co-star on EastEnders, Dame Barbara Windsor. Windsor was a financial benefactor who saved her. Now that I hear her, I can tell how she's feeling. Come on, darling. You are capable of overcoming this, she said to the Mirror. After learning of Windsor's cancer diagnosis, the actor received an invitation to her home from her husband Scott Mitchell. I went to the loo and when I came back, Barb said, "Right, darling, how much?" she said. "We would want to help you, so please let us know how much your bills and mortgage are." I was shocked and said no, but Barb's insisted that I wasn't making any money. They sat down and signed a check. Barbara comforted me while I sobbed and told me not to worry. We will always be available to you. To me, their assistance meant the world. Fergison also had the amazing support of her 24-year-old son Alex and her 12-year husband Yassine at home. Living together in their Blackpool house is the trio. Following Fergison's announcement, supporters poured into her social media accounts. One commenter stated as follows, "Cheryl, you are one of the strongest souls out there, as I have said before and will repeat again. Despite your fears, you should others nothing but love and courage, keeping your worries and fears to yourself. I'm so happy you have the courage to share your experience. You are such an inspiration. I appreciate you for being who you are, for the love, light, and strength you provide to so many people, and for raising awareness. I sincerely hope all is well with you. Much love, always X. Another said, very impressive bravery. By talking about our struggles, we make it easier for others to approach us with theirs. XX. More individuals praised the star in their comments. You are so beautiful and wonderful, I wish you all happiness and I want you on Strictly, a reader said. I appreciate you revealing something so intimate and bringing attention to such a large number of individuals. Hugs and optimistic vibes are being sent your way. I'm sorry to hear about your experience, but I'm glad you're back to normal. I appreciate you bringing attention to health-related concerns. Smile like you always do. X. Fergison's most well-known performance was in EastEnders for 5 years as Heather Trott. Her on-screen character was killed off in a dramatic EastEnders plot 11 years ago. Ben Mitchell savagely killed Heather in 2012. The performer described the conclusion of her character as bittersweet, in reflection on her tenure on EastEnders. It was a day filled with mixed emotions, she said to Best magazine. With one hand you acquire something, and with another you take it away. I had to grab a tissue when they informed me that Heather was about to be chopped. Characters are occasionally sacrificed in order to further other plots. I understand. Even though I anticipated it, I was nevertheless taken aback. Please subscribe our channel.